So you want to be a police officer. What's it like having lights, sirens, and badge bunnies? Come on, grasshoppers, you have a lot to learn. Hey guys, what is going on? Guys, I am so sorry it has taken so long to get a video out. I had no idea how unpredictable my new schedule was going to be as a detective. Most days I get home at a normal time, but it seems like every day that I plan on releasing a YouTube video, some shit pops off. Like last night, I didn't end up getting home until almost 9 o'clock, and obviously I can't film in the dark. So I was actually planning on doing this video yesterday, but it didn't work out. So if there's a little bit extra time between videos, I do apologize, but it's probably because something pretty significant is going on. I know you guys are pretty understanding though. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys that today's video is gonna be depressing as shit. Those of you that have been following me for a while know that I'm not one to sugarcoat stuff. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the ugly truth about being a cop. Cops, Law and Order, 21 Jump Street, there's a ton of different like shows and movies and stuff like that that portray law enforcement a certain way, depending on whichever genre the movie or show is. Some are serious, some are dramatic, some are suspenseful, and others are funny. The companies that film these shows and movies have one thing in mind, and that is to make money. For those of you that have always wondered, yes, Cops is an actual show, it's unscripted, but the biggest thing to remember when you're watching Cops is that they are taking the most exciting moments over, it could be a month, it could be 3 months, they're taking the most exciting moments from those months and they're cramming it into a 30-minute television show. It's not always running and gunning all the time. The majority of the time you're actually gonna be pretty bored on patrol depending on where you work. For those of you that are dead set on becoming a police officer, there's a ton of shit that you need to know before you get into this line of work. I hope I don't break too many hearts today with the truth I'm about to spit out, but nonetheless, I'm going to give you guys, like I said, the ugly side of law enforcement. Now, Cops shows you all the foot chases, the vehicle pursuits, drugs, all the exciting stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they don't show you though. And there's a lot of things that they can't show you because it's only stuff that you're gonna feel. You can't experience that through a television show. There's a lot of funny moments in this job, no doubt, but there's also a lot of depressing and heartbreaking moments that we have to go through, that we have to see other people go through. There's times that you're gonna come across abused kids, sick kids, dying kids, dead kids, kids with no future because of the shitty home life they have. You'll see parents that are more concerned about getting drugs than they are getting their kids some food and water. You're gonna see kids that haven't had a decent meal in months. You'll have kids that hug onto your leg and they don't wanna let go because they know exactly what's gonna happen when you do. Shit like that is totally heartbreaking and it sucks. And you wish you could save everybody, and then you very quickly realize that that's just not realistic. You can't. You're gonna step inside houses that you would never go into while you're off duty, and you're gonna see how truly nasty a lot of people live. You're gonna see cockroaches crawling on babies that are drinking out of bottles that have lumpy milk in them. You're gonna go into houses where people allow their pets to use the bathroom inside the house, and they walk around barefoot. You're gonna go into moldy old houses that you feel like you're gonna get some sort of respiratory disease in, and you know that these people have lived there for years. Nothing is gonna gross you out more than a cockroach crawling up your pant leg while you're trying to take a report. On the rare occasion that you're actually able to help and save one of these kids out of one of those houses, then you're gonna have to fight the parents. Hopefully you don't get a cut from that fight because God knows what kind of infection you're gonna get. I hope you guys aren't scared of dead bodies because you'll have plenty of those too. Fresh bodies, rotten bodies, bodies with horrible expressions on their faces, and that's assuming they even have a face. What if they use a shotgun to end their life? And on scenes where somebody shoots themselves with a shotgun, you're worried about stepping on blood, you're worried about stepping on brains, on bone, and there's gonna be times where you're 2 hours into your investigation and then you find medications to where they have some sort of bloodborne illness and you had no idea about it. I hope you wore gloves and you didn't touch your face. You'll find bodies in rivers that are yellow, swollen, and 3 times their normal size. Their eyes are gonna be staring right at you. You might find somebody that hung themselves. It could be over a relationship, it could be over bad news they got. Sometimes they're gonna leave a note, sometimes they don't. Maybe they did something they feel guilty about and they can't take it anymore. You'll get to the point where when you hear a death investigation come out over the radio, you're hoping that it's just some elderly person that passed away in their sleep or something like that. But that's usually not the case. People constantly die completely unexpectedly. Nobody knows when they're gonna go. So you might find the 50-year-old that had a heart attack and he's in his hallway, or maybe he was making dinner, or maybe he was going to the bathroom, who knows? Hopefully somebody finds them quickly, and hopefully they haven't sat in a hallway for 3.5 weeks. The feeling you'll have when you know there's a rotten body inside of a house and you have to kick open the door and you have family members that are bawling their eyes out outside, it will break your heart. The smell will hit you in the face like a punch. And now you're going to have to continue to smell it for the next 2 or 3 hours while you do your investigation. The lieutenant will probably pull you to the side and he'll say, if you need to puke, you get your ass outside and puke, and then get it back in and do your job. The smell is not the only thing that sucks about a dead body. There's going to be more bugs than you have ever seen in your life. Every step you take, you're going to hear a crunch. You're going to have flies landing on your face, and guess what they were just feasting on? The heartbreak is going to set in when a grown man drops to his knees crying because him and his dad had an argument, and he never got a chance to apologize for that argument, and now his dad is dead. He's not going to be able to wrap his head around the fact that he won't be able to talk to his dad again. And it's your job to console him and ask him questions about his dad at the same time, but you have to do it tactfully. Yes, you're going to have women and grown men cry on your shoulder. People who have been grown adults and on their own for years, for decades, are going to become little kids needing comfort because their parent is gone. Maybe you're behind the station and you're joking with other officers, and you guys hear a motor vehicle collision come out on the radio. The alarms go off on the radio, so you know there's going to be injuries. You're on your way to the call and they upgrade it to a fatality. You get there and someone's screaming, pacing back and forth by the car. You look in the car and you see something that looks like a baby, but it's lifeless because the mother didn't strap it in right and it hit the windshield. Maybe that car was hit by a drunk driver. You're going to want to rip the head off of this drunk driver, but you can't. You can't show any emotion whatsoever. The drunk driver's so drunk he doesn't even know what happens. He's asking you over and over and over what just happened. Then he's gonna lie to you. He's gonna say his brakes didn't work or something's wrong with the car. But you've got 5 people standing around there that just saw him run that red light at 60 miles an hour. After you're done with your investigation, the family's gonna hug you, they're gonna cry on you, and they're gonna thank you for your service. But guess what? The next call you go to, people are gonna call you a pig, they're gonna call you scum of the earth, they're gonna call you a tyrant, a tax collector for the state. They're not going to have any idea what you just saw or what you just went through. But guess what? They don't care. You're a public servant, which means your only job is to do what they say and to do it immediately. That's what they're going to expect from you. And they're going to be calling you a pig at the same time. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your badge. Maybe someone decides to fight you. They rip a hole in your pants. That short, skinny girl you underestimated crawls you like a pole. She rips your badge right off your shirt. I hope you've been saving up, because guess what? The city you work for is out of budget and they can't afford to buy you another uniform, so it's coming out of your paycheck. Be smart with your money, and maybe you'll save enough to send your kids through college. Hopefully you don't let the gore and violence make you a very bitter person. You'll learn to watch people's hands instead of their eyes when they talk to you. There's going to be nights where you wake up in a cold sweat remembering a call that you responded to. Maybe it was last night, maybe it was last week. Either way, you just had another nightmare about it and you're waking up in a complete panic. Hopefully you never have to bury one of your own partners, because you're going to be questioning yourself for years. If there was something you could have done, could you have gotten there quicker? Is there something you could have done to change the outcome? And even after all this, people will expect you to be normal. They will expect you to be unbiased about everything. People are going to file complaints because they think you have an attitude. The list goes on. If you want to be a cop, that's great, but make sure you get into it for the right reasons. The glamour of wearing a uniform, having lights, having a siren, that's all going to wear off. Let me make that very clear to you. You think it looks cool, but what you see as authority and prestige, someone else sees as a target. There are people out there that will shoot you in the head without thinking twice about it, and they will stand there while you gargle your last breath before they take off into the night. I remember how excited I was to have my new car, right? I had a shiny new badge, I had my lights, I had my siren. I get it, I totally get it. But after a while, you forget all that stuff is there. You don't even pay attention to it anymore because it's become second nature to you. So don't get into this job because of the equipment. Get into this job because the overwhelming majority of the public are good people. Some of them need your protection. Other people can protect themselves, and that's fine. Either way, you are there for them if they need you. The job is not all bad. I'm just giving some examples of the realities that I have experienced, that I've seen other officers experience. Sometimes there's a lot of happy moments too. Maybe you'll get a kidnapping case and you end up finding the child and you get it back reunited with the mother. That's a rewarding feeling. Maybe you'll dance in the projects with the neighborhood kids and you're gonna show them that not all cops are bad. You're gonna form a lifelong bond with your partners on your shift, that nobody else will ever be able to understand except maybe military personnel. You guys will eat together, you'll fight together, you'll be shot at together, and the next day you'll be at a barbecue together, drinking beers and laughing about it. Close calls are going to become second nature to you in this job. You just have to hope that whenever you kiss your significant other goodbye at the start of your shift, that it's not goodbye forever. So again, if you really want to be a cop, I say go for it. I just really hope you know what you're in for. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Again, I'm sorry this video is late. I'll try to get another one out by the weekend or over the weekend. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section below, and I will see you guys very soon.